Extreme Monsters, Book 2, What's with Wulf? Chapter 6, Let the Games Begin. Jinx sat cross-legged on the floor of Val's garage, trying to figure out what Wulf had done. Hoping that peace and quiet might help her think, she had sent Steiner and Mumford to the extreme sports park to practice their stunts for the benefit, which was tomorrow. Jinx rested her chin on her hand and studied the list she had written carefully on the yellow pad. It wasn't long. It wasn't encouraging either. And it did little to explain why Wulf would suddenly leave the extreme monsters and join their rivals. Or did it? The list said, ice cream, popcorn, lemon twist, forget me pal, I don't exist, air, clear water, ghostly pale, may my magic bite my tail. Superstar, ego charm, extreme monster, team pendant, amazing stunt, roller coaster. Making sure her wand was lying safely beside her, Jinx whispered, ice cream, popcorn, lemon twist, forget me pal, I don't exist. The spell must have disturbed Wulf's memory, she thought. Jinx drew a line down the center of the paper, and on the other side wrote, memory. Okay, she thought. What's next? Jinx whispered, air, clear water, ghostly pale, may my magic bite my tail, she thought, and shuddered. She couldn't even make herself whisper the phrase out loud. Wulf didn't know it, of course, but he had been asking for trouble. It was part of an invisibility charm. She wrote invisibility under memory on her new list. Except nobody's invisible, she thought. Not Wulf, not us. So where did the invisibility go? She sighed and went on to the next line, superstar. The spell did get him on TV, she thought, but joining Team Pendant was more like joining the Ghost Club of Extreme Sports than being a superstar. He would go in with fanfare like most of the new Pendant members, but when it came down to it, Damon Christopher was the only star of Team Pendant. She looked at her list. Nothing else there should do much harm, she hoped. Jinx wished she knew what else Wulf had said. I'll just have to work with what I know, she muttered. Memory, for instance. Maybe Wulf is acting weird because his memory has been scrambled. She thought back to the press conference when he'd looked right through her and knew she'd found at least part of the answer. I'll create a spell to restore his memory, she thought, but I'll have to be careful. I don't know what other kinds of magic Wulf invoked. I wouldn't want to do more harm than good. Again, Jinx thought of the phrase, bite my tail, and shuddered. Looking around for more clues, she studied the destruction caused by Wulf's misguided use of magic. The overturned workbenches, the tools scattered around the garage, the equipment and trophies smashed on the floor. Whatever Wulf had done, the spell was powerful. Even wild magic didn't usually explode like that. Jinx could hear Steiner and Mumford returning from practice. She stood up. Maybe the clutter was making it hard to think. She'd go outside to say hi to her teammates, and then head next door to work on the counterspell in her room. As Jinx stepped out the side door, she saw Val skate up the driveway. At the same time, Steiner and Mumford were rolling up the sidewalk, with Mumford sketching as usual. They spotted Val and waved excitedly. Val, Mumford shouted, how's Wulf? Is he okay? For now, Val said, sounding discouraged. Jinx could tell from Val's voice that something was wrong. but Mumford didn't notice. He ordered his bandage to let go of the bike and ran toward Jinx. "Did you figure out how to undo the spell?" "Not completely," Jinx said, "but I know how to begin. I need to restore Wulf's memory." Val frowned. "You might be right. I honestly think he doesn't remember we exist." "I'll create a spell to fix that. We'll try it on him and see what happens. Then we'll see what else needs tweaking." Val frowned. "How long will it take?" 2 or 3 days to create the spell," Jinx said. "We don't know exactly what we're dealing with, so I have to be really careful." Val sighed. "That's not soon enough. We have a problem. Come inside, everybody. It's got to be all over Damon's Extreme Sports channel by now." Jinx settled in with Val, Steiner, and Mumford on the sofa in Val's den. Val clicked the remote and the Team Pendant logo flashed on the screen. Then Damon Christopher appeared. Jinx scowled. Damon looked like a well-groomed, expensively dressed snake. "Tomorrow at the Crony Island benefit," Damon announced, "Team Pendant's newest and greatest superstar, Wulf, will perform a stunt never attempted by another blader anywhere. Wulf will blade down the tracks of the roller coaster, blindfolded." "He'll what?" roared Steiner. Val shrugged. "You heard the man. But that roller coaster is in terrible shape," Jinx said. "The tracks and support structures are falling apart, not to mention that the peaks are way off the ground, and he wants to do it blindfolded?" Mumford shook his head in denial. "No way, that can't be right. It's way too dangerous to do tricks up there, even if you aren't blindfolded." "Yeah, man," Steiner said, laying a giant hand on Mumford's shoulder. "That's not brave, that's stupid." "Stupid, definitely," said Jinx, "but it makes a horrible kind of sense. Remember, Wulf mentioned the stunt and the roller coaster in his spell. I think it's all tied together. I wish we knew exactly what he had said." Jinx stood up. "I'm going home to work on a counterspell," she said. "Maybe if I stay up all night I can get the memory restoring part finished by tomorrow." "Good," said Val, "because from now until Wulf is cured, our #1 priority is keeping him alive." Val, Steiner, and Mumford trooped into the garage. Steiner slumped down on the floor and started to disassemble and clean the bearings in the rear sprocket of his bike. Mumford watched morosely, rousing himself from time to time to lasso a tool from among the chaos and hand it to Steiner. But Val was too restless to sit. He began to talk, telling his friends how the Slime Brothers had tried to make Wulf wipe out on the ramp, then goaded him into inventing that ridiculous stunt. As Val talked, he began systematically to turn workbenches upright and hang equipment back on hooks, sweeping the broken parts into a corner. Finally, the garage was almost back to normal. Val righted one last workbench. "Hey, look what I found," he said, holding up Mumford's video camera. "I don't want it," said Mumford. "That's what started Wulf acting so crazy, showing off for the camera." "It's not the camera's fault," said Val, holding the eye to the lens and pushing the on button. Nothing happened. "Hey, didn't you have a brand new battery in this thing?" "Maybe," said Mumford uncertainly. "I don't think I'm very good with cameras." "No problem," said Val, grabbing a cord and plugging the camera into an outlet. "We'll recharge it and see what you have. Maybe it's better than you think." "If it's wiggly, fuzzy pictures of Wulf acting like a jerk," Mumford muttered, "I don't want to watch." But of course he did. Val plugged the recharged camera into the computer in his bedroom. Val, Steiner, and Mumford watched Wulf skating around and showing off on the screen. The camera had captured the beginning of Wulf's argument with Jinx and showed Val stepping, well, flying in to try and calm things down. "It's not that bad, Mumford," Val said encouragingly. "Maybe all you need to do is practice. And read the lame instruction book," Steiner said with a grin. On the computer screen, the arguments between Jinx and Wulf grew more heated. Suddenly, the computer image spun around the garage and turned sideways. "What happened?" Steiner asked. "Val told me to put the camera away," said Mumford miserably. "I was making Wulf show off too much, so I tossed it on the workbench." "It wasn't you," said Val. On the computer screen, the scene was continuing, only sideways. The friends leaned sideways and watched as Val and Steiner tried to calm Wulf down, and Wulf grabbed Jinx's book and began his spell. They watched open-mouthed as Wulf read some words and made up others while he skated backwards in a circle. "The camera was still on," Mumford murmured. "I guess I didn't turn it off when I put it down." "And the lens was facing us. It recorded everything," Val agreed. "Jinx!" Val cried suddenly as he launched himself out the bedroom window, headed for her house. "Jinx, we know what Wulf said. Come and see."